good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. We are here. We're back with our, regular team here, Mr. A and Crystal and myself. And we're here to help offer you some advice, coping strategies, and just overall positive messages for your mental health and well-being. And as we start every show, we do a little check-in. So let's check in. How are you guys doing? How was the last week?
Last week has been good, of course. A lot of changes have come. Now we all kind of a little bit disappointed. No March break, but I'm trying. I'm hanging in there.
Crystal, how are you doing?
I'm so happy to have a purpose to put pants on in the morning. I've been living in leggings for the last 6 weeks. I put pants on, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried they weren't gonna go on. I love it. I love waking up in the morning. I love getting ready in the morning. I love the drive, seeing my person at Tim Hortons, the 2-kilometer walk from the parking lot to the school. I love it all. I'm so happy to be back.
That's it.
It's been a good week. It is nice to see everyone again. Of course, the protocols are a bit even, a little more strict. And of course, as Mr. Ace has mentioned already, that we heard yesterday that March break was going to be delayed until the week of April the 12th. So delayed a month. And it really brings to mind that this is the long haul. We're in a long haul. This pandemic isn't going to go away overnight. And so we're getting tired. And I'm sure I've read a few articles in the news that there are a lot of, teachers and unions, and we're all saying, oh my gosh, this is we need a break. We're burned out. So today we're going to talk about how do we brace ourselves for the long haul, and I'll let Mr. A get us started.
You know what? I think exactly what you just mentioned. Everybody's feeling the stress, the pressure. And I think with anything, when we keep having rapid changes, today we're in school, tomorrow we're not in school, something like March break that we've had forever, all of a sudden also being shifted. These are all things that, kind of create chaos in our life, right? Because we have to shift, we have to adjust. We have family plans that we've been planning maybe a whole week. Maybe it's a special birthday that you have that you wanted to celebrate and know that you're going to be off. So really, I think as we talk about long haul, right, it's all about having the mindset that allows you to cope over a duration of time and not looking at things, from a short term in terms of the consequences or all the changes you have to deal with, but rather spreading it out, giving yourself the ability to chunk what you're exposing yourself to in terms of even your frustration, just kind of look at maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, or, 3 weeks ahead and try not to think too much about all the different things that are going on right now.
Yes, chunk it up. Instead of seeing the whole thing, little pieces. Crystal?
I think for me personally, it's I have 2 small kids, and after summer break, when they go back to school in September, they just give me one of those, because now they have to go to school from September to June before they get that summer break again, right? And so they're dreading that. But they're looking forward to that, right? And so I always say, listen, you can't dwell on the fact that school's over or summer break is over. What you need to do is celebrate that it happened. Look at all the wonderful things that you did this past summer. You went swimming, you learned how to ride a bike, you did this, you did that. And so I'm the same as Michael. I'm very big on, don't look at university or college. Look at, okay, this is what I need to do this quad. So this is how I'm going to focus on getting through this assignment and this assignment. And you can only take it one day at a time. If you look too far in the future, it's going to feel like it's so far away that you can't reach it, right? So you have to look at the smaller, set smaller goals and work towards those smaller things. And then when you reflect on it, you're going to be you totally got through it all, right?
When I think about the long haul or this topic, I think about a time a couple years ago. The front of our house needed a lot of work. So I asked my husband, I said, hey, would you mind if I put in a patio? Now, at the time, I'm like, what am I thinking? I'm going to put in a patio? That's going to involve a lot of grunt work. And if I think about the whole project, it overwhelmed me. I don't know. So how I started was I looked up some YouTube videos because, you know, there's everything on YouTube. And I watched some people talk about how to start a patio, right? So measure it off, and then you have to dig, and then you need, you know, the yard fabric. Then you need 2 different layers of like gravel and stuff like that. Then you got to get your patio stones and what patio stones. So I did a lot of research beforehand, and I mean, it was only a small area, 80 square feet. You know, if you think about the project in its entirety, it's going to be like this big overwhelming weight, and you're going to be like, oh, you're going to like crush under it. But if you chunk it up, so when I did this patio, I just focused on 1 step at a time. I did the research. Okay, that's the research. Then I figured, okay, what do I need? Okay, so then I went to Hamilton Builder Supply. I went to the desk. I said, hi, I'm new to this. This is the area that I want to do for my patio. Can you help me? The guy was great, very helpful. He said, yeah, you're going to need a couple layers, you know, yard, like he kind of knew what I needed. And he just put it all in the order. I paid for it, got it delivered. And then I went about building or putting in the patio, one
Wow.
at a time. That's this sort of thing. We got to chunk it up. So like Crystal said, this quad, don't think about June. Don't think about like, yeah, I know for the grade 12s, you're all like, what about grad and what's, okay.
Yeah.
The grad committee planning stuff, and we've got, you know, we're talking about options and all that. So you're not going to be forgotten. So just think about chunks. Now, the other thing that I heard this week from students was there's no variety to the days. So Crystal, you mentioned, you know, when summer's over and we go back to school September to June, yeah, we might think it's a long haul, but I know when we go back to school, we think, okay, September, it's all exciting to see friends, and sports is going to start up. And then we've got Halloween, and, you know, we have the Thanksgiving weekend, and then Halloween. And then we've got, you know, I think there's like PD days in November, and then we've got Christmas break, and then we've come back and okay, it's exams, but then, you know, a new semester, and then we got March break. We got none of those things now to really hold us over to the next thing. So it feels like a lot like Groundhog Day. Mm-hmm. There's no variety to our days. So this is adding a whole new level of a challenge in terms of coping with the long haul.
I think it's important to remember, though, that no single person is going through this alone. Everybody's going through it. We're all just managing and coping different ways, right? It's also important to remember that we have to look at the best of the situation and make the best of the situation, because it's going to be a long, drawn out process to get to the end of COVID. And so you can't, like, for me personally, like, I look forward to certain things. I look forward to Family Day weekend. We're doing a Valentine's. Yeah, I can't do all the things. Like my kid, I got an email from my kid's school saying, we're not exchanging Valentine's. We're not doing this. Listen, my kids look forward to exchanging Valentine's. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to set up the house. I'm going to put some candles. I got little heart plates, and we're going to do Valentine's. They can't do anything at school. I can't control that, but I can control what we do at home. And so I think we need to find those positive things in all of these negative situations, because that's what's going to get us through it, right? Yes. January for me is the worst month of the year. It's cold, it's dark, it's cloudy. You don't get any sun. It's long. You know what I mean? There's no PA days. There's no nothing. And so January for me is so hard. And I have to remain focused on, trying to be positive, trying to look for the good in it, and every day, because there's good in every day, and keeping my kids excited about the next thing, because my mood can affect how they behave, how they act.
Yes.
No, I think you're very correct. It's so important for us to just mind ourselves and really make sure we're coping in a positive way, because how we're coping affects those around us. So making sure that you're very intentional, and you take breaks for yourself when you need it. Once again, we're in this for the long haul, but we're all in this together. The decisions you make today are going to determine how things are for you tomorrow. So it's really all about patience. It's all about really kind of focusing on the things that are most important. I'll tell you, for me, I've set a goal of trying to get myself physically fit. So every day I try to include that in my day. And that's a personal goal. So I'm hoping each and every one of us could also set some intentions for ourselves, so that we're still moving towards something for ourselves. Although everything else might feel like it's not moving, have a personal intention for yourself and then use that to kind of gauge the productivity in your life while everything else might feel like it's at still.
Yes, and I know we've talked about this before, and I've heard this from like Crystal. You and I talk about this often, and help me with it. The thoughts that we have affect our attitude, affects our reality, which affects our thoughts, affects our attitude, affects our reality.
And then what you put out there, right?
So yeah,
I constantly have. If I constantly have negative thoughts, I'm going to start feeling negative, and then I'm going to produce
it's a cycle. Thought, attitude becomes our reality.
Our thoughts affect our words. Our words become our beliefs. Our beliefs become our actions. Our actions then become our trajectory.
That's exactly what I was looking for, Mr. A. So we have a choice. Yes, this sucks. But if we always focus on how much this sucks, guess what? It's going to suck. It's going to always be hard, and it's always going to be awful. So we have a choice, my friends. We have a choice to say, okay, yeah, it sucks, but are we tougher and stronger than the situation? Or is the situation going to be stronger and tougher on us? So,
and then of course, for everybody, our circumstances are different. So if ever you needed to talk to somebody, do reach out. You have a team here always in your corner. Of course, you also have your parents at home. You have your teachers, and then you have your great friends, right? Let's start talking more. I think this is a great time to be sharing and connecting with others as much as we can. Of course, and also in a safe way, right? Because talking helps us. Sometimes that is the coping that we need. Just being able to verbalize our feelings, vent to each other, get it out, and then know that at least it's off your chest.
And that's exactly it. So start if you haven't really been reaching out to your friends, just, hey, how you doing? Let's talk about this, right? Because we're all carrying stuff in regards to this. Normally, even without a pandemic, we carry stuff. But because of the pandemic, we really need to reach out more and be intentional with that and just check in hey, how you doing? Hey, let's chat, let's vent. What do you find frustrating? Where are you finding hope? What's helping you to keep going? And we have a choice to focus on, okay, yeah, it sucks. And if that's what we focus on, that's all we're going to see and find. Or we could say, yeah, but you know what? Wow, that morning show that Miss R does, it's really, gets us grounded. Shameless self-promotion. Or it could be, you do have class with your favorite teacher. That's something. Or, there are nice things that are being done in your family. Your mom's being thoughtful, maybe doing nice things for you. Maybe your dad is doing nice things for you. Focus on the good stuff, because as Crystal said, there's good stuff in your day. We need to just develop the eyesight to see it.
My thing is, I like to, I'll scroll. I can scroll. And now I find myself in these crazy TikTok rabbit holes. And I'll just be sitting there laughing by myself, and I'm like, man, this is funny. I need to share this. And so I will constantly, I text everybody. I text Mr. McDougall, I text Mr. Parisian, I text you all the time, I text my friends, I text so many different people, and I see a meme and I'm like, that made me think of this person. I now need to share that. And so that I find joy in that stuff, right?
Yes.
I think it's hilarious. Yes. So I find, the secretaries downstairs, when I see something and I think it's hilarious, it doesn't have to be a super long conversation. It's just, I need to share this with the world because it was so funny.
Yeah. And that's how little it is. Just sharing some joy, right? We got to laugh, and we really need to be kind, and so hopefully what we've said this week helps you to keep going for another week, and we'll be back next week with more good stuff from your team here at STA.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good weekend.